Coming up, with the winter chill continuing in the mountains, we'll share some tips to keep your four-legged friends safe. And from east to west, how some are using one of the Commonwealth's favorite pastimes to raise money for tornado victims.
Frigid air stays in place tonight, but we finally get above freezing by this weekend. I got your full forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
How does 8 degrees sound? That's the expected low temperature tonight as the Arctic chill continues. Meteorologist Cameron Aaron joins us now with more on what to expect. Cameron?
Yeah, Steve, we were just talking in the break, and I was like, this is some pretty cold air. I've never really experienced air this cold before, so I'm in for a treat as well. And it was cold today. It's going to be frigid later on tonight. Let's take a look at that I-64 camera over in Moorhead. They have a little bit more in the way of clearing, and as a result, a beautiful sunset back into the distance with a few areas of snow, I should say, on those grassy areas. Over at the London Corbin Airport, more cloud cover, sitting at 21 with some snow on the grassy areas as well. And those temperatures, look at that. 19 in Pikeville, 18 for Wise and Logan, 20 for Jackson and Prestonsburg. This is nowhere near the low that we get towards tonight up on satellite and radar. Most of us were dry on this Friday, besides that band of snow flurries, mainly on our eastern side of the state from near Pikeville over towards Hazard. Those snow flurries do continue into this evening. Tonight, though, we stay dry under a mostly clear sky. And like Steve mentioned, 8 degrees the low temperature tonight. So be sure to bundle up and check on those pets and plants and pipes and all that good stuff as we go through the rest of tonight. I got that full forecast for your weekend coming up just a little bit later. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. The frigid temperatures can be especially dangerous for our outside pets. Dr. Danica Harvey with the Appalachian Animal Hospital says they get a few animals every winter suffering from hypothermia. Dr. Harvey also says there are other potential winter hazards to prepare for: using pet-safe salt on roads and sidewalks, keeping antifreeze in a safe space, and ensuring your pets have access to fresh, unfrozen water. If you're unable to bring them inside, she says there are other steps you can take to make sure they stay safe.
There are heated beds that you can get, and of course people will use heat lamps and that type of thing, and then also to make sure that they have a water source that isn't frozen. There are heated water bowls that you can get too to keep their water from freezing up.
In Hazard, the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter is offering free straw to help insulate your outside animals from the cold. We have more weather coverage and the latest closings on the WYMT News app. If you have not downloaded that app, just put up your phone to the camera, to the screen there, and scan the code right there. This will take you to a link that our news app that you can download. You can always find the latest closings and delays along with breaking news alerts, and you can also receive alerts for specific schools as soon as we receive them, and there might be another chance for school closings next week. We encourage you to download both the WYMT News and weather apps to stay ahead of the winter weather. Tonight, several Eastern Kentucky school districts are coming together to give back to Western Kentuckians who were impacted late last year by the deadly tornadoes. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to folks at Wolfe County High School about tonight's benefit basketball game.
Friday night's doubleheader is about more than just basketball.
Of course, we're going to play a basketball game. We're going to be competing, but it's good to know that we're doing something bigger than just basketball and helping out our neighbors over in Western Kentucky.
Those at Wolfe County School District joined Lee County and Breathitt County schools to host a girls and boys game to raise funds for Western Kentuckians in need.
And hopefully this money we make tonight will catch somebody that another group hadn't helped.
All money from admissions will be given to the family resource centers in the Dawson Springs area.
I do it every game. I mean, I'm down every game. It's good to help people. It makes you feel good on the inside.
Wolfe County Athletic Director and boys basketball coach Robert Creech says these efforts mean even more to these counties since several have also been impacted by natural disasters.
We've had our fair shares of trouble here in the past year or so with flooding and things like that, and people in East Kentucky are really good people. They're caring people.
Creech adds this game can also be a valuable lesson for the players involved.
It's a good lesson for the school system to teach the kids to work together. Rivals on the floor, but, families off the floor. And you know, if we can help each other and help somebody 3 or 4 hours down the road, that's good that we're teaching the kids to do that.
Doing what they can to help those in Western Kentucky. In Wolfe County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
The Wolfe County versus Lee County girls game began around 5:45, and the Wolfe County boys game against Breathitt County will take place around 7:45. Robert Creech adds that if you were unable to come out to the games but still want to help, you can contact Wolfe, Breathitt, or Lee County schools to send a donation. A federal indictment says a former Eastern Kentucky sheriff is accused of stealing more than $50,000 in cash seized by law enforcement. Keith Cooper was indicted last week by a grand jury in Covington on 1 count of mail fraud and 1 count of theft of property from a federally funded agency. The indictment says he is accused of embezzling money that belonged to the agency from 2013 to 2017. He served as sheriff of Greenup County until the end of 2018. Authorities have not set a date for Cooper to appear in court. The Kentucky Attorney General says a man from Somerset pleaded guilty to child pornography charges. Bryston W. Prater was facing several charges related to possession or distribution of child porn. In July, detectives were notified of an IP address in Pulaski County that downloaded child pornography through a file sharing program. Detectives said they got a search warrant and took a laptop and SD card. They said the 2 items combined had more than 1,000 images of child pornography. Governor Andy Beshear stopped in Letcher County this afternoon, announcing more than $2.2 million worth of projects for the area. WYMT's Chas Jenkins was there.
Bringing the city of Whitesburg Farmers Market more than $1 million, helping build a new kitchen.
It is exciting to see the innovation and the ideas. I met 2 new business owners, ages 11 and 13 today, and that is pretty special.
Helping make things more convenient for sellers.
They can just bring their things here, put them out, and they don't have to worry about their tents. They don't have to worry about the weather, and this helps them with their prosperity.
All while bringing new tourism opportunities to the area.
I think with this new structure, and that allows us to be in one permanent spot, this will just be a destination place for a lot of our tourists.
And stimulating economic growth for the city and county.
This will provide equal opportunity for all kinds of people, and this will let people know that in the future that Whitesburg is still thriving.
Happy to bring good news after several difficult weeks.
Eastern Kentucky is becoming an agriculture technology and an agriculture center of the United States of America. It's a really special, exciting time, and it tells us if we push through this pandemic, and we will make it through, there's a much brighter tomorrow.
Helping the region prosper. In Letcher County, Chas Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Governor Beshear also announced more than $600,000 for road repairs and $700,000 in water and sewer projects. He says this will bring clean drinking water to more than 200 houses in the county. Well, the Commonwealth saw another record case count with more than 16,000 new COVID cases today, as the positivity rate means about 1 in 3 Kentuckians being tested are testing positive. The state reported 16,130 new cases, bringing our case total to 1,056,284. 290 new cases, 290 were reported today in Harlan County alone. There were 28 new deaths as well across the state, putting the Commonwealth's death toll at 12,687. The positivity rate is now at 32.10%, yet another high mark. You can always find the latest COVID information on our website at WYMT.com. At-home COVID-19 tests are growing in popularity, especially as more people experience symptoms. Earlier this week, the federal government launched a website for Americans to order free at-home COVID tests. WYMT's Dakota Makris looks into whether at-home test results need to be sent to your local health department.
The Omicron variant is surging in the Kentucky River District.
Our total incident rate here in the district is ranging from about 112 in one of our counties.
Public Health Director Scott Lockard says the Commonwealth is in the red zone on the COVID-19 incidence rate map.
So with the number of cases that we have, in-home testing is an important part of that strategy.
He says the at-home rapid COVID antigen tests take the burden off testing sites that are seeing an increase and helps with the shortage of testing supplies.
At the height of the Delta surge, we had about 1,280 cases. Last week it was around 1,230. We're on pace to really eclipse that record this week.
If you use an at-home test, do you need to report it to the health department? That answer is no.
And so that's one of the concerns about the at-home test is there are going to be a lot of people that are testing positive that we may not have reports on officially.
Saying staff is overwhelmed and cannot enter the sheer volume of positive cases.
Once you've tested positive, you reach out to your primary care provider because you may need treatment. There are still some oral treatments.
You can get a false negative with the antigen tests. If you are showing that you are negative but have symptoms, you should get tested by a provider.
If you're having symptoms especially, we want to make sure that that is not COVID-19, that you're not spreading it to others.
In Perry County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Meanwhile, the Kentucky River District Public Health Department has suspended calling everyone testing positive for COVID-19. Public Health Director Scott Locker tells us due to the increased volume of COVID cases, the health department is changing its strategy on how it is responding. He says his team is just overwhelmed, saying they are trying to enter the data the State Department for Public Health and the CDC needs.
So don't wait for a phone call from us because with the sheer volume of cases we're seeing right now, we can only call a fraction of those. So we've actually suspended calling positive cases and we're just serving as a resource and doing all the data collection.
Now, patients will receive a call from their provider about their test result. The call from the health department is to give quarantine and isolation guidance.
Well, many people will be tumbling into those single digits later on tonight, but some relief is possible this weekend. I got your full forecast coming up.
And after winning multiple awards from the Kentucky Travel Industry Association, Prestonsburg tourism officials share their thoughts on the future of tourism in the area.